Horizon Talk Radio. Online from the Highlands of Scotland, we are voices from around the world. Horizon Talk Radio. Online from the Highlands of Scotland, we are voices from around the world.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hello.
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 Hello. Hi. Hello.
Yeah, very warm welcome. It's Andy Peacher on a fine Monday evening, a bit snowy here in the Highlands. But we're here tonight with the MacMaster, who normally goes to sunny places. He's Lee from the MacMaster.co.uk. He's on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Top of my head, I think he's got 32,000 followers on YouTube, but that was the last time I looked anyway. So he's an online travel and tech series. He films this, hosted, and it's all edited by Lee, the MacMaster. In today's world, information is crucial, especially when traveling to a new destination. Also, I'd add Lee also does food, sort of, taste food and all that from different places. I think that's also important to know a bit about a place before you go and eat there or travel there or whatever. So his channel provides viewers with priceless information that raises awareness to destinations around the world, while at the same time sharing his experiences, journey, and fun along the way. And I'd love to say a huge thank you to Lee for joining us, but a million thank yous to over 100 people, really, that sent in questions. And I've done a little bit of a survey, and sort of Lee won. Right, Lee, welcome to the show.
Hello there. How are you? Nice to be on the show. Thank you for inviting me.
You'll be happy to know, though, it's not waste, because it's on Google, Apple, every single podcast you can ever, think of. So it's quite a good setup we've got now. Yeah, so let's start with you then. What did you do before you'd done the travel blogs then, and why go into travel vlogs?
What did I do? Right, well, my trade is I am a graphic designer, graphic artist. I worked in the newspaper industry, which I still do, or kind of. I did before the current situation. I contract to the newspaper industry to do corporate videos. Most of the corporate videos that I did were for the Food and Drink Awards, the Businesswoman of the Year Awards, for the Birmingham, Leicester, Nottingham, Derby around the Midlands. That stopped because of the current situation, and I decided to take my sort of like hobby, as it was then, the YouTube videos, to the next level and start doing that as a full-time job kind of thing. I figured on doing that literally just prior to the pandemic. I was going to do it, and then it hit. But the pandemic I gained a lot more subscribers through it because it was travel and people couldn't travel. I was showing people, mainly Tenerife at the time, and they couldn't travel. So it was bringing them a little bit of positivity in a world that was a little cloudy at the time.
Yeah, when I actually first looked at your travel vlog early last year, there's no indication that you only did it because of the pandemic. It was more, you've been doing it for years and you just love doing it. That kind of thing. That's the impression I got.
I did. I loved it. Don't get me wrong. I love vlogging, and I've always loved doing making movies and editing videos. And I started doing my travel vlog way before the pandemic, when I lived over in the United States. I was in Hoboken in New Jersey. And if you look back at my very, very first vlog, they were American-based. And then I came back to the UK and did some vlogs here. And then I went over to Tenerife and kind of hit on a niche with Tenerife. It was easy to do vlogs there. I knew it pretty well. The weather was amazing, which makes filming a lot better and a lot easier. And there was a lot of places to eat that I could go eat in places and show people what to do on the island of Tenerife. And I kind of kept going back there and built up a kind of a following through Tenerife, really. And I've did Gran Canaria after that. And I've got into the market of Tenerife, and I think a lot of people think I just filmed Tenerife, but I'll be going back after the lockdown to Tenerife, but I am going to plan on traveling around a lot further afield as well, the United States, Australia, and the Far East. So everywhere I possibly can, and show people what a wonderful world it is.
Yeah, I'm guessing, from, everything I say is based on my opinion, that these travel videos are really just an extension of what you actually love doing, the video and in the meeting the people and, just having the fun as you would.
I absolutely love it. And I have to say, meeting people along the way is a great thing about being a vlogger. You meet so many different people along the way, along the journey. And I always say I meet a lot of the viewers, and I call them, I don't like to call them fans. I really dislike the word fans. So I call them friends of the channel, and I meet them along the way. And it's just great. You meet so many people, and it's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing about being a YouTuber.
Yeah, I've got addicted a little bit to other YouTuber channels, but I certainly look at yours because I think the other reason we got into your channel was we wanted that bit of hope, while we were on lockdown. But obviously we thought you'd been doing it for years. But while we was on lockdown, last April, May, we thought, wouldn't it be nice to go somewhere? And your channel said Tenerife, and we'd already booked a holiday to Vietnam, and we thought, well, we're not going to go there this year, and probably not next, and it's still not any good even today. So we decided to do a month in Tenerife. That was around July, and then we'd done another 3 weeks in Fuerteventura, and that was in October time. So we got the 7 weeks all-inclusive in Tenerife for the same as 4 weeks non-all-inclusive self-catering in Vietnam. So we enjoyed it. But yeah, you gave us hope, and all the comments I've had, emails about your videos, is that exactly what you do. In one sense, you're giving people hope, and the other sense, you're actually explaining about a destination or about food. I'll go on to fish and chips later because I've got a couple of questions on fish and chips, if I don't forget.
I can remind you about fish and chips. I'll look like fish and chips soon if I eat any more.
Oh, by the way, it does tickle me to call your sister Psycho, but anyway, that's another one.
My Psycho sister. I think everybody has to have some kind of nickname. I'm wondering whether you're actually going to ask me where I got the name MacMaster in one of your questions.
Well, I guess only because you're a video person, and obviously it's not Windows, it's a Mac you probably use. That's and the master bit, I'm not sure, but I guess you've learned to use it very well.
Since 1986, March the 17th, 1986, at the Chad newspaper. And I know them inside out, so I gained the name the MacMaster, so it continued on. And it sounds like some kind of superhero, doesn't it? So I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking about Mac in particular. I've not actually ever used a Mac. What is the difference between a Windows where all these pop-ups happen all the time and a MacBook?
You can't talk to me about Windows. It's my kryptonite.
Oh, okay.
I can't do Windows. It's Mac's just better. I think it's for more for the creative person, more for the artistic type. I think designers and video people. So,
do you still get? I mean,
anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you still get? Can you open more than one page on the Mac? That's all I was curious about.
You didn't used to be able to 2 years ago. They're pretty much the same now, to be honest. It's pretty much the same. But what I do say is, anybody who's got Windows laptops out there, you shouldn't be allowed to sit in the window of Starbucks. You can only sit in the window of Starbucks if you've got a MacBook.
Absolutely, and maybe they should also be wearing one of these merches from your store. Which
exactly.
I've attempted to try and buy one myself, but I think you need like a big person's size, because even 2 extra large on some of them are not,
I think we go to 5XL.
Oh, that's not too bad then. It's just, I look at the hoodie.
Which is, I'll need about 10XL if I eat any more fish and chips.
All right, well, let's get fish and chips out of the way. You've done thousands of reviews on fish and chips. Just trying to work out, is there a favourite one from, just keep it simple, UK and Tenerife? Because if you've done hundreds of them, I'd say by now the chips and the fish taste pretty similar.
I have to say my favourite one in Tenerife, everybody who knows me and watches the channel will know that it's the Palms Fish and Chip Shop in Tenerife. It's just an amazing fish and chip shop. And Lorraine, who owns it there, the owner, is an absolutely amazing lady. She's brilliant. Love her to bits. If she's listening, hi, Lorraine. So pop over and support them when you get back to Tenerife. And my favourite one in the UK, I'd probably say the Bearded Sailor in Pudsey and Leeds.
Yeah, well, one of my favourite ones years ago now. Well, not years ago, but 10 years plus. Used to be near Cambridgeshire. Was in Cambridgeshire, a place called Wisbeach, March, Ely, that area, and it was just bang on. The chips were soft inside but crispy on the out. The batter was crispy, and when you put your salt and vinegar on them, you could just smell the goodness out of them. But now, we go to Yarmouth, Skeggy, Blackpool. We live in Scotland. You just can't find a decent fish and chips anywhere. Well, at least the places we visit.
You need to come to Yorkshire, although I'm told that Scotland have some of the best as well. But I'm not from Yorkshire, but I do believe that Yorkshire has the best fish and chips. They're great. But the Palms in Tenerife, I love it. And you've got the scenery as well. You've got the sea, you've got the sea air, you've got the sunshine. Makes it all for the better, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's the atmosphere, isn't it?
It is. So moving on from fish and chips, what other questions have you got? I know you've got quite a few questions that your listeners have sent in there. So hit me with the questions.
Yeah, well, then we'll do questions for. Well, I was going to ask you about the COVID-19 passports and then move on to questions.
Okay, yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, well, the reason I wanted tonight was hoping that we could be celebrating some good news, but obviously Johnson tonight has said, it's in the air, but we're not going to confirm nothing until at least May 17. But your video the other day really summed it all in a nutshell. It's still going to be an unfair system where if you're in amber and it suddenly goes up to red or from green up to amber, people are just going to literally have to drop the suitcase, pick up the suitcases and run to the airport quickly, which is not very fair, is it?
I don't think so, no. I mean, it's funny because as I went out to film that episode, and it was about the traffic light system, Sarah, my girlfriend, said you're going to be an amber gambler, basically. And I know the system's there to protect you in a way that if it's green when you go, it goes to amber first rather than going straight to red. But, you still could have a crossover where if you're there for 2 or 3 weeks, that you've basically got to clamber to get back to the UK. So you could be left stranded because obviously we know that traffic lights change as soon as you go through them. So it's going to be difficult. But at the same time, like I say, there is light at the end of the tunnel. The UK is we're advanced on the vaccine front, and there's a lot of countries that are, I don't think Tenerife are at the moment, but they're getting there. I think another few months. Let's look at next year. By next year, I think we're going to be back to some kind of normality because, the vaccine rollout's going to be a lot more advanced. So I think we're looking at it this way. A year ago, we were nowhere near the light at the end of the tunnel. Now we're getting there. So, it's a positive. We're on the way there. We're on the way now.
Yeah, no, I mean, me personally, I was just thinking it would have been fair if they didn't do the traffic light system in one way, but then you kind of need both of it, both parts of the equation. There's no good saying that if you've had your vaccine or you've had a negative test or you've had the antibodies, you can travel, because you need the other part of it. There's no good you going into a bad country, a red country, because you're just going to bring the virus back. So I guess the only thing that will heal with that is time. So they might have a crazy system like they had last year for the rest of this year, but then next year it'll probably be a bit more clearer, like you said.
I think next year it will be a lot clearer, and I think the problem or the issue that we had is a lot of us expected that, this year it was going to be the end of it, and I personally didn't. I think until all the vaccine rollout's gone ahead, I think by the end of this year we'll be a lot further to the end of that tunnel. That's where I think next. I think this year is going to be very difficult. If you're going to plan on going on holiday this year, you've got to be prepared that it may change. That things may change while you're out there. Whereas next year, I think we'll be maybe not back to normal, but almost there.
Yeah, like I said last year, then I'll start asking these questions. We planned Vietnam, and we had the backup plan was go anywhere. You can always go to Tenerife, I said to myself, even though I've been to all the other islands before, but I've never been to Tenerife. And I went to the north part as well. So we didn't have a backup plan, but in a way we did. Because we said, it don't matter where we go, we just go to Europe. Now this year, like a fool, we actually planned to go. We've got some friends in Bali. So like a fool, we planned for August in Bali, but that weren't going to happen. So we thought, that's it. Let's do a winter holiday instead. So we're hoping for Christmas and New Year now in Turkey, because they do lovely cheap winter holidays. And if it don't happen, it'll be Tenerife, and if that don't happen, we'll just give up. Yeah.
Well, my next series. I'm starting my next series in April. As we're in April, but I'm doing the next series in the UK, and the reason being is, there are loopholes now, and I possibly could get over to Tenerife, jumping through a few loopholes because I'm doing it for work. But I figured a couple of reasons. I thought lots of people are going to be holidaying in the UK. You're going to want to know fun things to do, places to go, cheap places to eat. Because we want a bargain when we go around, or you do if you're from Yorkshire or Nottinghamshire. Anyway, we want a bargain, and if you got a family. So I'm going to be touring the UK for a couple of reasons, so that I can show people around. We've got a wonderful country. We've got Scotland. Scotland is such an amazing country within itself. And we've got Wales. We've got Northern Ireland. We've got England, Cornwall. So I want to travel the length and the breadth of the UK, showing people what we've got at home for the time being, and keep some of the money in our own economy for the time being. And then once things get a little bit easier and restrictions lift, then I'll start traveling further afield. But I think also at the same time, it allows me to stay a little bit closer to my family who don't want to travel abroad at the moment.
No, they're very sensible. I heard what you said. Families are different to couples, we're just a couple, so we can take it or we can leave it, but families, you got to be really careful with young children. Yeah. So the first question was actually a part of that thing you've just said. What places in the UK are you going to visit, and to add on to that, if you come into the Highlands, Inverness North, there'll be a beer and fish and chips waiting.
You're on. I will definitely take you up on that one. I've got your phone number now, so I'll be giving you a call. Scotland is on the cards. Cornwall is a place that I've never been to, but I've got friends down there, and it's a beautiful part of the country. Wales as well. There's a zip wire that goes 100 miles an hour or something, I think. So I've got to do that. I'm going to be doing the capital, London. I'm going to be doing all the seaside resorts and Wales, everywhere. I've got a list of places around the UK and also Northern Ireland as well. So I'm going to be doing lots of different things. But I'm going to be trying to do things that are suitable for families and couples, and also I'm going to try and do it so that it's on a bit of a shoestring, because a lot of people have the vision that England's expensive and we always say it's rip off Britain, and you get a few negative comments. I've had more positive comments, I have to say, about traveling in the UK. You get a few negative comments saying, oh, it's rip off Britain, blah blah blah. So I want to show the places that where you can get a bargain, where you can go around the UK and it doesn't have to cost you a fortune, because I'm okay when I'm traveling around doing videos because I'm getting paid by YouTube for them. But when I travel around with my family, I have to work to a budget. We have to work to a budget, and I want to show that for couples and families. So I think that's the way to go.
If you do your research, there's a lot of websites out there doing exactly that. And if you've got time and you're in central Scotland, I recommend the Falkirk Wheel. It's basically like you're on a narrowboat, and they lift you up high, and then they put you. It's like a tour. You actually get lifted on a public narrowboat and then lifted down again. The Falkirk Wheel is quite cheap, and families love that. Yeah. Okay. Next question then. What's your favourite place so far you've been to?
Oh dear.
I guess in your whole vlogging life. In your vlogging life.
In my whole vlogging life. I mean, I obviously I love Tenerife. I've filmed many things in Tenerife. I lived in Hoboken, New Jersey for 12 years. And I love, that's on a few of my vlogs. I love it there, I have to say. And I hope to go back one day if I can sway the family to move there. I'd say Tenerife and the United States.
I don't know why somebody asked this, but who is the person at home that you miss the most? I mean, I'd miss them all.
Who's the person at home that I miss the most? Oh, blimey. That's difficult because I can't really say one. I mean, I've got 3 daughters and a son, and obviously Sarah. Just my family. I miss my family when I'm away. My family, I'd say.
Okay, yeah.
I couldn't narrow it down to one person, but I'd just say my family.
Onto food again. I mean, it's probably fish and chips. No, it's not. What has been the most interesting item of food you've ever tasted?
Ooh, that's a good question, actually. The most fish eyes, but I didn't taste it. I got Daniel to taste it. I couldn't manage it. Not at all. That was the most interesting food that I've ever seen. It's fish eyes. I'd give that one a miss.
Yeah. Is there anything that when you travel with something that the item that you're taking with you is, I don't know why people ask these questions. It's essential, is there something you couldn't do without? I mean, I was just thinking you couldn't do without your camera, but I guess on home comforts. Yeah, on home comforts, I think that's what they meant.
On the home comforts? Oh, Anodine Extra. I get a headache. I get a lot of headaches, and it's the only thing that stops me getting a headache.
And back on the, what's the weirdest thing you've seen?
The weirdest thing I've seen? Oh, blimey. That's a good question. The weirdest thing? I'm not really... do you know what? I'm not really sure the weirdest thing I've seen. I'll come back to that one. I'll have to come back to that one. I don't know off the top of my head.
Probably seeing yourself a bit hungover in Tenerife the next morning on video.
Probably, yeah, definitely, probably. Looking myself in the mirror in the morning.
What's your top travel tip for people?
My top travel tip, travel light.
Yeah, I mean,
Definitely.
on that subject, we always seem to be, we've only learned recently in the last year, especially Tenerife learned us a lot. We used to take like a big suitcase, a little one each, and okay, it's expensive anyway, which, we're bonkers for doing it, but actually this time in Tenerife, we took a small suitcase and the bag, and do you know what? Obviously, it wasn't no money at all on Ryanair, but also you don't really need that much, especially if you've got an apartment near a laundrette. And if you really did need something, you just buy it and take it home.
Exactly. I have a small case and I have my backpack with my Mac in and my cameras. Travel light, because you can take a massive suitcase and I guarantee you won't wear half the stuff that's in it. So it's pointless. You're just carrying stuff around and making it more difficult. Just travel light. What people say to me, you've only took 7 shirts with you. I'm like, well, I've got a washing machine.
So this is an interesting question. What would you do for work if you didn't do what you do now? What would be the alternative job?
I could say I'd go back to being a graphic designer. I'd say I'd go back to being a graphic artist because I'm good at being a graphic designer. However, I always wanted to be a policeman after my dad, but he talked me out of that.
Right. I'm just skipping some of these because a lot of them are very similar.
Okay.
Well, just let's talk a bit more about then. Probably the UK. When's it all going to start? Then when's it all going to kick off?
As soon as we're allowed to travel, which I believe is the 12th of April. So I think we're allowed to travel around then and do overnight stays. So I'm going to start doing the filming for it after the 12th of April. And what I want to do is do less. At the moment, I've been uploading daily, doing donuts, fish and chips and anything really, because people have said, yeah, just do the raw and uncut videos. What I want to do is maybe do 1 or 2 a week, but do a little bit more of a quality footage and get some really good footage, some drone shots, some exciting things, and spend a little bit more time editing it. So I'll probably just drop 1 or 2 videos a week from around the UK, but there'll be the content in it will be a little bit better at the moment. Because at the moment, I mean, how many fish and chips can I eat? Do they want me to? How many fish and chips do you want to watch me eat? So it's going to be a little bit better. I'm going to do like zip wires. I'm going to try and do balloon flights, diving again in this country as well, speedboats, anything really. I'm going to bungee jumping. I'm going to be doing all sorts of different things, boat trips, and anything that I can think of that's something a little bit different, but also that people can do on their travels around the UK.
And maybe if you could do both if you wanted to, if you had the time, you could say, well, I'm doing 2 quality videos like you've just mentioned, and then maybe you stay at a hotel you particularly like. You could review the hotel, you could review the caravan park or the the train you went on, just as an added extra, something like that. And that was all top of my head.
Yeah. I mean, no, it's a good idea. I might throw a few, little ones in there as well. I'm trying to do a few train journeys as well. I have a secret passion of steam trains and train journeys because I sit watching.
You know what the one is in Scotland, then, don't you? Well, there's a small one in Aviemore. That's the Aviemore steam railway, and it goes up about 10 miles and back again, and that's very inexpensive.
It is. I watched it on television last night, so going to do a few train journeys as well. And also, along the way of going around the UK, I'm going to be putting on my YouTube community page of where I'll be going. And if there are any, viewers of the channel that want to meet up, and it is their neck of the woods, they might be able to show me around and appear on the vlog as well. I want to try and incorporate and, get people involved, get the viewers involved as well, so they can be on the vlog.
Well, you can, if you come to the Highlands, the best steam railway in Scotland, I think, is the Jacobite, which is from Fort William to Mallaig, or Mallaig as they call it. And it's about a 20, 30-mile run, and it goes both ways for the round trip. And it's absolutely sensational. And it stops at a viaduct that Harry Potter was filmed at, and it's really good. I don't think that's that expensive either. So the Jacobite steam train, Fort William, which, if you're going to do the NC 500 road trip, so Inverness North and then round, you would see all these places I've just mentioned anyway.
That's what I'm going to do, actually. I'm going to do the NC 500. Somebody mentioned that, so and I exchanged my car soon, otherwise I couldn't do it in mine.
You would actually, Lee, you would actually come within a fish and chip and a beer for me by doing it, because I'm 100 miles north at a place called Thurso. And you have to come that way because it's one of the main stopping points on the NC 500.
Oh, that's it then. We're on for a beer and fish and chips along the way. Sounds good.
All right, do you want to plug your websites and that? And I said it'll be a 30-minute chat. And I want, again, thanks to the listeners who have wrote in. I mean, I must admit, I haven't read all of them out, but because they're all very similar. I think they just wanted to hear your voice, to be fair.
They can see me. I'm going to be travelling around the UK. So as I'm travelling around the UK, I will be letting people know on my YouTube community page where I'm going prior. So if they know, because if I'm going to visit a place and they live there and they want to be on the vlog, they can show me around the place. It will make the vlog a lot easier and also a lot more interesting, because they'll know things about where they live more so than I will do as well. So I should be letting people know where I'm going, and I can meet up along the way. And I can plug my website. I mean, you can find me on YouTube under the MacMaster. MacMaster is all one word, MacMaster. Or you can go to, I think it's macmaster.co.uk, I think it is, isn't it? But just look up the MacMaster. Look up the MacMaster on YouTube. It's youtube.com/the MacMaster, and hit the subscribe button, and you can watch me travelling around.
Also, just before we go, a tip: if you had a couple of trusted people, they could actually be your social media admin. Where the idea being, because I've done this before for other people, because you're traveling in different places, they could be on the computer a few hours a day. It's a bit like, the celebrities coming to town. I know you're not quite like that, but it sort of complements what you're doing. People know you're coming, not just by getting them to come to your page. You need other people, I think, to help you, and that would also then help them in the content that you provide. But yeah, who's got a few hours to spare every day for free? Not many, but just an idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea. To be honest, I can't wait to travel the UK. We live in such a wonderful beautiful country, and I want to. I really do want to keep the economy going here in the UK and put some money back into our own economy as well. I know we're all desperate to go abroad and get some sunshine, but I think we've got a good summer coming up, got some good weather coming up, and some great places to see. And I want to show people the beauty of our own country and try and keep it on a shoestring, like I say, because we don't want to be spending a fortune as we go around, especially if we've got families like myself. So I'm going to try and do it on a shoestring, UK on a shoestring.
Well, at the moment, the caravan parks in the country and the likes of the Premier Inn and Travelodge, £25 a night. You can't beat that. Scotland's opening on the 26th of April, the same as England. So, in fact, Scotland's hairdressers are open earlier. But I think by the end of April, everywhere in Scotland, England, Ireland and Wales will be open for you, Lee.
They will. I think it'll be open for business. The UK is open for business, and I want to. If anyone's got any ideas, I mean, I've had lots of ideas been sent to me as well. One of them, I think that people want me to do things that are a bit risky, and somebody sent me the idea of a zip wire in Wales somewhere, and so I'm going to do that. I think it goes 100 mile an hour, and it's so many feet up, and if I can get that on camera and get the GoPro on, I'd love to do it. And will I be scared? A little bit, and I'll probably be screaming, but it makes for good viewing.
Yeah, and also maybe you could team up with, he's called Theme Park Worldwide. He's a young guy. He's got a good radio voice, and he may take you on a few roller coasters around the country because he's doing exactly what you're doing, but in a roller coaster kind of way. Just to show people just to show the people in the UK. Hang on, I'm just thinking what his name was. He's got 252,000 subscribers. So
wow, he's doing good. He's doing good.
I'll send you the link. Like most people could, we'll send you the link just in case. It may be something you're interested in. Won't bother you with big emails, but I'll put about 20 or 30 ideas, of people or places in Scotland, and
I can't wait to visit Scotland, to be honest. Beautiful, beautiful place. So long as I don't have to listen to any bagpipes. That's my pet hate, is bagpipes. I can't do bagpipes.
Well, the tradition for one night is probably to go to one of these pubs, have something to eat, listen to the bagpipe and the ceilidh. But I mean, that doesn't mean you have to. But it is a tradition. And I'm not saying you have to wear the kilt. You don't have to wear the kilt.
Maybe I should wear a kilt. It would make for more fun on the video.
Yeah, that's true. That's another idea. Hang on, I've got somebody in chat that's now asking the question. Can you ask the MacMaster if he can get a ride in your Porsche? Oh, when you're in Scotland.
If he can get a ride. Yeah, it won't be the same Porsche though. That Porsche is going back. It seems to be getting lower, although I think it's me that's getting older. So that one's going back, and they've got a one with a different one. You'll see on the vlog which one it is. I think it's a what do you call it? An SUV Porsche coming, so I can travel the country a little bit easier and get out of it easier as well. But yeah, by all means, I will meet up with them.
This guy's a car enthusiast, so.
Oh, I know which one it is. It's the Porsche Macan Turbo. So I've ordered that one. It's the litres up on this one. So, and I've got more seats in it to put my children. 2 seats doesn't really work when you've got 2 children and a girlfriend. Doesn't work. I didn't do the maths properly.
Well, when you come up here, at least 5 or 6 people want to meet you in this little town. So, all the best, Lee, and thanks for coming on Horizon Talk Radio tonight.
thank you for having me. And can I just say to everybody that watches me, I want to say a big hello. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for watching. And when I'm around about the UK, please keep an eye out where I am and come say hi.
And remember, let's go.
Let's go. Stay safe, stay positive, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, bye-bye.
Take care, Lee.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Take care, bye.